Greetings, car fanatics. 6 months ago I replaced my Carrera S badge with an 911 badge. I really like the way this looks. However, the old Carrera S badge left behind a ghosting image due to the UV exposure. If we look closely, we can see a ghost image of the old Carrera S badge. This is really bothering me, so I'd rather replace the 911 badge with the Carrera S badge just so we don't have to deal with this issue. But before we do that, we're going to clean up the badge, paint it black, and make sure we put it back perfectly aligned. So I first cleaned up the Carrera S badge using Glue Gun to get rid of all the adhesive on the back. Now that all the adhesive is gone, I'm using rubbing alcohol to get rid of any remaining residue. That way when I put the double-sided tape on the back of the emblems, it's going to stick really well. Next, before we spray paint the badge, I'm going to apply the double-sided tape to the back of the badge. To do this, I'm tracing the outline of the badges onto double-sided tape. Next, I'm going to use scissors to cut well inside the lines of my outline. This will make sure the double-sided tape is the right thickness to fit the back of the emblems perfectly. Time for the fun part. We're going to spray some primer onto the Carrera S badge to help the black paint adhere to the badge. I'm using high temperature primer simply because I have it laying around. Any type of primer for this application should work. Shake the can for at least 30 seconds before you start spraying. For your very first coat, you want to spray a very light coat. This is called a tack coat. It's going to help the next coat stick. After the first coat, you want to wait 10 minutes before spraying on the next coat. For your next coat, you want to apply a wet coat. You want to put enough paint down to make your object wet whenever you're done. This is going to let the paint gradually dry, that way you have a nice smooth finish when you're done. We're now going to give the primer 30 minutes to dry. I'm using flat black tester spray paint. I'm going to apply 2 coats to the Carrera S badge. I think this is all we need for the badges. Now it's time to get working on the car. Before we remove the 911 badge, we want to mark off the area where we want to place our Carrera S badge. I'm simply following the old Carrera S ghost and I'm marking it off. I'm also using tape measure to make sure it's perfectly centered. To remove the old badge, I'm using dental floss, which is really good to cut into the old double-sided tape and get the badges off safely. You want to get off as much of the double-sided tape as possible before using a solvent. I'm using Glue Gun to get rid of the remaining double-sided tape adhesive. Use a microfiber towel to apply the solvent. Let it sit for a little bit. Be patient when removing the adhesive so you don't mess with your paint. Before we put on the badge, I'm going to clean the area with Quick Detailer. I'm then going to polish the area to make sure I remove any paint imperfections. Next, we're going to clean the area with rubbing alcohol to make sure the double-sided tape can adhere to the paint properly. Before actually sticking the badges to the car, we want to do a test fitment just to make sure our template is correct. Now it's time for the final step. We're going to put the new Carrera S badge onto the car. After peeling off the double-sided tape cover on the back, I'm going to lightly put the badges on the car. This is going to give me some flexibility to just move the badges around just a little bit in case something is off. Once we're 100% sure that we have the new badge in the right location, we want to give the badges a nice firm press, and we're all done. Alright, so this looks amazing. The alignment is actually better than it was on my car originally, and also now that it's painted flat black versus the plasti dip, I think it looks a lot better because it's not glossy at all. If you want to give this project a try, it'll only take you a few hours of your time. You'll just need some rubbing alcohol, you might need some Glue Gun, you'll need a primer, and a color of your choice. Check out my description below for links to these products. Thanks for watching, Car Fanatics. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Leave any questions or comments below.